Hi guys, ModernMiss here, and this is the first part of the Penthouse build for the top model Let's Play that I'm doing. So this part we have kind of overall build of the penthouse, the runway, and we decorate the bedrooms. So for the runway, I had actually built this previously on a residential lot, and I tried to save that as a room and then place it here, but it got a bit munted. I think because originally on the residential lot, that catwalk down the middle, it was raised up and it had the pond around it as water, but you can't use the pond tool on the penthouse lots, just the swimming pool one, and you can't have that foundation level that raises it up. So I ended up just having like swimming pool around there, and it was kind of awkward at first because the models were just like swimming in that area, which I wasn't wanting them to do, so I was able to find like an invisible fencing tool to kind of go around the outside of that, so they stopped doing that. But yeah, I really like how this runway turns out. In the middle behind those waterfalls, there's a dresser and mirrors and some seating for them to get changed behind there, and then also more clothing on the back. And there's a DJ, which I thought would be cool if you could hire a DJ and they could come and play music while the Sims do their catwalk. Though I think there's another DJ on this lot, and I wish if you like hire staff like for the bar or DJ, I wish you could like specify which one of those you wanted them to go to, because I swear whenever I have like multiple DJs or bars, staff always go to the wrong one. It's so annoying. I guess the only other thing to do would be to block off the ones you don't want them to use, but I don't know, maybe that's just getting a bit difficult. So here we start building the kind of main structure of the top model penthouse. It's quite simple, the exterior, I think. I kind of wanted to concentrate more on the interior of it, but what ends up happening is I do change a lot of those windows and the fencing around the outside later on. I don't know, that always seems to happen when I'm filming. Like, once I stop filming, I'll go back and completely change a few things or add in more furniture, or I don't know. But that's alright. I think it's still interesting to see how it's built to begin with, and in the final screenshots you see how it ends up. But yeah, I'm actually in awe sometimes when I watch other Simmers build, because they'll do these gigantic like mansions or whatever they are, these gigantic builds, and they just seem to do it all in one take. I don't know if I can do that, or maybe I can work towards that, but yeah, that's why this build, it's kind of broken up into parts that I kind of pieced together, because I kept coming back at different times and adding to it. Also, if I've been playing The Sims for a couple hours, I like to kind of quit and restart my computer, because the fan can start to go pretty crazy. Like, my computer's graphic cards and RAM, sorry, I don't really know the proper terminology of all of it, but it's pretty good, but I don't know what is about The Sims. It starts to get really loud, so I have to wear headphones, but I'm just worried it will heat up too much, so I have to quit out after a while. Does that happen to anyone else? I think also just the more expansions and stuff that's been added to the Sims game, like the louder my computer gets, but that's okay. I did have to make a few adjustments for this Let's Play, just because at the beginning, like, it's a 8 Sim household, which I don't think I've ever really played with 8 Sims in a household. It's always like, I don't know, maybe 2 to 5 Sims. But yeah, so this is an 8 Sim household, and this penthouse ends up just having a lot of stuff in it. And I think that just started to lag it quite a bit. So I just turned down the settings a little bit, and it doesn't look too much different, I don't think, and it just started running a lot better, so yeah, that was good. I guess just a little bit more info about this Let's Play. It's based off the Top Model TV show, like loosely based around that. The host is Alyssa Brandon, and she is the most famous model in San Myshuno, and her photos are just plastered everywhere, and everyone knows who she is. And she has chosen 7 different contestants to live in this top model house and compete to become San Myshuno's next top model. Okay, I just had to do that, sorry. But the winner will be able to do different photo shoots for different ads and be featured all over the city as well. And they'll also, I'm saying and way too much, they will be getting a large sum of simoleons. Just looking back here at the build, this part that's been added onto the side of the penthouse is actually Alyssa's apartment. So as the host of the show, she doesn't really want to be, I guess, living in the same area as the contestants. So she has her own apartment, her own space that she can go back to. So at the bottom is the living area and bathroom, and then upstairs is the bedroom. The pool area downstairs ends up being changed quite a lot. I get rid of that swimming lane there, and on the back wall we put some of Alyssa's campaign photos, which looks quite neat. And just talking a bit more about the characters, none of them are based off any of the TV show people or anything like that. Actually, all of them, apart from I guess 2 of the Sims, I was already playing with, like already existed in my Sims game. Like Alyssa and her family, I think that family I've played with since Sims 2. Do any of you guys do that? Like you created a family back in like one of the earliest Sims games and you then create them in every Sims edition, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think it's cool that the majority of the Sims are already from my game, so I know their backstories quite well. But Alyssa's family was actually the first one I created in Sims 4, and her older sister Tammy is a very talented painter and would actually paint portraits of Alyssa, and that's how people kind of started taking notice of her and her modelling career to take off. And moving on to the bedrooms, I did 2 bedrooms because there are 7 contestants. So I thought I'd do like 2 themed rooms, and that part's kind of from like the Next Top Model show. Like I haven't watched it in forever, but I remember they had these like amazing themed, colourful, awesome rooms. So I kind of wanted to do that. So this first one here, I end up using the Vintage Glamour pack, and first here I was just trying to like figure out where the beds would go, because yeah, and I think I only end up getting 6 beds, so there's 7 contestants, so someone's not going to have a bed, or they'll just share, I guess. So yeah, for this one it ends up being kind of like a black and mint colour scheme, which I thought was neat, and I love that chandelier. I think I need to use that more often, but I feel like sometimes it gets in the way of the Sims, I don't know, or in the way of like the view, so I just kind of put it in the entrance point there. Yeah. So I just finished the first episode for this Let's Play actually, just before this video here. And it was funny because before I started, I thought that the editing of it would be really difficult, like the beginning sequence I did. I thought that would be probably the most difficult, and then I'd just kind of record the gameplay fairly quickly. But it turned out to be the opposite way. Like the editing did take a long time, but I was able to do it reasonably okay. Like I did do some tutorials for a couple After Effects things, but I got the hang of it pretty quick. but it was the actual gameplay that ended up being more difficult. I guess if you just haven't done a voiceover of yourself playing the game, then yeah, because usually when I play, I'm not talking out loud, obviously, so it's quite a different thing to be talking out loud and trying to juggle playing the game and describing what's going on. So that was something new. I think it's just probably one of those things that with practice, like even just doing it a couple times, it will probably hopefully be a bit more natural. So just speeding up towards the end of this room build, I think altogether there's only 6 beds, so maybe 2 of the Sims will have to share, or Rose can camp out in Alyssa's headquarters. Moving on to the second room, it's a kind of Japanese inspired theme, and I don't know why I put that glamour poster there at the beginning. I think I was maybe trying to get the 2 rooms to flow together, but I ended up thinking no, they're 2 completely different kind of themes, so we get rid of that in the end. Now what I would have liked for this room was tatami mats, because when I lived in Japan, my first apartment had tatami mats actually, and I didn't really like them at first, to be honest, just because, okay, so the apartment that I moved into when I first got there was pretty crap because it had cockroaches, and so my first memories of tatami mat are like baby cockroaches running in and out of the different mats, so not a very good first memory of them. But I ended up changing apartments, so I guess after a year or so I started to associate tatami mats with ryokans instead, which are like the Japanese style hotels, and yeah, so it got better, but they have a very distinct smell, tatami mats, because I guess they're made of straw, but it's kind of this like musty scent. So yeah, the first year whenever I would like open the door and walk into my apartment, just that smell of the tatami mats, I was like, oh no, I can't do this. Like, I guess it's just that my memory was linked to those horrible cockroaches, but anyway, in the end I started to like them more. But they require a lot of maintenance actually. You have to keep them clean, and or you get like, is it dust mites or something like that in them, so you do have to be extra careful with them and not spill food or drinks. So yeah, they are a fair amount of effort. So yeah, this bedroom only ends up having 2 beds. I was thinking of putting a 3rd one in, but it just seemed too cramped to do that. So what we end up doing is putting in one of the karaoke machines that came with City Living. Because when I think of Japan, one of the things I think first is karaoke. Oh my gosh, I went to karaoke so many times with my friends. You can go out and have your own room with the karaoke machine and sing for like 3 hours is about $5 per person or something, so really cheap, and you can get free drink refills during that time of like juice, coffee, tea, and yeah, it's just so much fun. I don't know how many times I went and did karaoke, but it was awesome. Just on a completely different note, I'm curious, for those of you guys who watch Sims 4, like lots of different Sims 4 speed builds, do you prefer it to have the commentary over the build, or music playing? Like if there's no commentary and there's just music playing, do you watch that all the way through, or do you skip straight to the screenshots? Because I personally like the speed builds with the commentary better, but maybe some of you prefer music. So these are the screenshots. I would love to be able to fill those seats around the catwalk with other Sims watching, but I don't know if I'll be able to unless maybe I use a cheat. I wonder if that would lag it too much. But if you'd like to see the other areas of this penthouse being furnished, you can look at the second video of this build. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.